Well, praise God. We accomplished what we
You
wanted
look
to accomplish.
nice.
Oh, thank you.
Mhm.
We accomplished what we wanted to accomplish. So I say, Father, thank you.
Yes, Lord, I did. I gave him the glory for real.
Holy Spirit, thank you. Jehovah God, thank you.
I kept thanking him. I was just like, God, I thank you.
Amen to that. Okay, so now I should be on Makita now because I see your mind. So I should be on yours now. Let me refresh. Are you able to see your Facebook? Because people ask questions. Yeah, we're live there now. And people ask questions. So you want to be able to look at questions. Oh, let me see. We don't want that. You want to be able to answer questions um, both on Facebook as well as Periscope.
Okay.
We want to be able to do that. Um, let's see. Um, all right. Um, I am putting you on my Instagram. Um, that one.
Something's echoing. I don't know what that is.
Um, it's probably one of the how
Oh,
many things do you have on? If you
right now
have
I don't have on anything yet. My husband, he has to start it. I don't have on anything yet except my computer.
okay, because the sound is coming from somewhere, and I know I've turned mine off. So, oh hi, is it Soshaya? Welcome,
Sasha.
Sashi. Welcome. Let me share. Okay, so let me do my sharing now. Please, as you come in on Facebook, can you please just share? Um, can you share this? Let me quickly share it on inside all the groups. So that's what you were probably seeing, Makita, that it looks like it's live inside of the group, but
Okay.
you're actually on your. All right, join us now. Yay, we have things to rejoice about. And then your book bumped to number 5. So
Wow.
you're at the first 10, in the first 10 category, the three categories,
Wow.
number 10. Yeah. So we praise
So exciting.
we praise God for his favor. For his favor. Okay, let me make it a safe place. I'm going to drop it in safe place too, because a lot of times when you're doing things like this, there are times some people just see it in the group and they just stay there.
Right.
So that's why it's good to put it everywhere you know that people can will go. Uh, beautiful place. You can go ahead and launch on Periscope
Okay.
while I do this because I'm ready. Um,
Okay. I'm waiting on him and he's gonna do the other one, but I'm gonna just go ahead from my Periscope right now because we're
okay.
gonna probably talk for a minute and then he can log on from the other one.
Uh, I kind of like I saw the screen that he had.
You
Uh,
like it?
I really like it, so I need to do that myself and find out more about it later. What other groups do you have out there? I'm trying to make sure. Oh, let me go to my group. Prayerpreneur. Okay. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining. We appreciate you. Thank you for joining. Now let me find my parents if they're not sleeping right now.
That is so funny.
And say, okay, well, that Makita is up again.
That is funny.
I mean, with the walls apart, can you imagine?
I can.
I mean, that is just God right there. I say,
It
like,
is.
of all people, the number of people that are on Facebook, Oh my God. Like, wow. God, you are incredible.
He's super good.
Yeah, I said you are just incredible. Okay. I just want to put it in one more place and I'm done. Um, all right, we're live right now, right? Ah.
Hi, you guys that are in here already. I'm trying to set up my Periscope.
Okay. Seriously. Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining. We appreciate you. Thank you for joining. We are just busy doing something here. Thank you all. Thank you all for joining. We appreciate you. Please, can you do us a favor? Can you even tweet this out? Can
Yes.
you tweet it?
Eat it.
Can you invite people, your followers, on Facebook, and let's enjoy this party.
I got balloons. It's on.
I see that.
Who does that? Who buys themselves balloons? Me.
Well, but why not?
Me.
I mean, is there any rule about,
Nope. I got it.
There's no rule about it. So.
No, bro. Me. I buy balloons. Hi, Periscope. Hi, Periscope. Themselves balloons. Me.
Well, but why not? Yeah, hold on. I mean, yeah, I have any rule about, hold on.
No.
I have two.
Hi, guys. So when Sean gets here, you guys, I'm gonna stop the Periscope and he's gonna rescope it just to let you guys know that are on Periscope. But we didn't want to prolong the time, and so I'm projecting my phone to the screen for those of you that are watching via Periscope. So just share and invite, and then when he gets back, you're gonna see the dual screen again. Okay. Thank you guys so much for the congratulations and all that great stuff. I appreciate it. I appreciate it very much.
Okay. I am going live on my Instagram. Okay. All right, everybody. I hope we're not turned upside down with the way that I have it here.
Hi.
So let's hope.
So I can see everybody in Periscope right now, but I can't see people in Facebook. So I'll be in Facebook in a little bit, guys. Hi.
Oh, yeah, you are. You're on Facebook already. I'm looking at you on Facebook.
Oh, yeah. I can't see the comments, though. I can only see the comments on Periscope.
Oh, wait. Are you looking on your, using your phone or something?
Uh-huh.
Okay. So we have, is it Sasha?
Sasha. She just spells it. They spell it different, but it's Sasha.
So
Hi,
Bria.
Elder Renee. We're number one.
Yes. Absolutely. We thank God for that. Hallelujah.
So excited. Princess, I don't have a job for you right now, but I have a new person. Okay. Hi, Whitney. thanks guys for sharing and inviting. Keep doing that. Please share on Facebook and please share on Twitter. Go on. She called it Twitter. Tweety. Go on Tweety. Yes. Thank you, Cheyenne. This is exciting.
Thank God.
We came back looking cute. I got on a different top and some different jewelry.
Yeah, I like that. I like the jewelry.
I got a pop of pink on my lip. You look nice with your bedazzled tunic.
Thank you. I know, right? I'm just chilling. You're the star of the night, so
you're the star. Thank you, princess.
Just chill.
Ah, so exciting.
Let's see. Okay, so do you want to start saying hello? I'm leaving you to your thing.
Sure. So hello, you guys. I am Marquita D. Collins, the wife, mother, entrepreneur, prophet, minister, psalmist, worship pastor, certified life coach, best-selling author. So super excited about my new book. I'm still old-fashioned, real, raw, and uncut. Thanks to you guys, I am on the bestseller category, and it's number 1 in the hot new releases. I am so honored, so blessed tonight to be on here with Dr. Princess Fumi, who was my authorpreneurship coach during this season of writing this book, which I'm very proud of. I'm very, 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 very proud of this particular project. And Princess Fumi interviewed me earlier on Facebook, Periscope, and it also streamed on Instagram as well. And she's going to, ask some more questions as well. But I want to kind of start it off myself and just be who I am and let y'all know that we're going to have a good time. So get your popcorn, get your tea, get your sparkling cider, and let's have fun for about an hour or so. And again, if you do not have my book, I'm Still Old Fashioned. Please go to bit.ly/Still Old Fashioned ED. So it has the ED at the end. Get your book and also leave a review. If you did get your book already, please read first chapter or a few pages and leave an honest review about it. Those of you that asked about printed copies, those will be on the way within the next 2 to 3 weeks. So hold tight, hang tight, but we still want you to get the ebook version or the Kindle version and download it, read it, share it with your friends, let people know that this chocolate girl is helping you in an old-fashioned way, but real, raw, and uncut. And again, for those of you that don't know who I am, my name is Marquita D. Collins, and I'm very excited about what the Lord has definitely shown me in these last few months with having the proper mentorship and learning and being teachable. You can produce a project and it can be done with a spirit of excellence with his hands on it. And it can also be anointed when you are ready again to receive and glean from the people that are anointed and gifted to do what they're doing. And that's not always something that the world hears. And it's something that Christian entrepreneurs need to hear, especially Christian authors, that we don't always do things the world way. There is a strategy that God wants us to use in the kingdom, and it's working for our good. All of you that've seen me climb the charts is through paid purchases, so it wasn't the free one. It was through paid buyers, which I'm very proud of. And Princess Fumi, being the amazing woman that she is, really pushed me past what I thought was my potential and helped me gain another level of confidence. I mean, I'm already confident, but if you could imagine, another level of confidence has come to me. And as an honor to have worked with her during this duration of time for this book. So again, if you don't have this book, what are you waiting on? Go to Amazon, get the book, go to the link bit.ly/still old fashioned, bit.ly/still old fashioned. And if you have questions on Periscope, if you have questions on Facebook, please copy and paste them because we may miss them, and we'll get to them as well. I'm also towards the end of this conversation going to read a couple of pages from a selected chapter that I wanted to hit on. Or if you guys want me to read one of the chapters, a couple of pages from one of the chapters, you throw up what you want me to read, and I'll go with that as well. So again, Princess Fumi is about 8 hours ahead of us right now. So it's in the middle of the night, I think, or going into the morning on her end. And I'm just so, again, grateful for her to be here. And Princess, do you have anything you want to say?
Well, thank you all so much for joining us tonight. I see some people coming and blowing some hearts on Instagram. We appreciate you. Thank you so much. If you are able to join on Facebook too, please do join on Facebook. And this is on Makita's Facebook. It's makita.collins.10.
Yes.
Makita.collins.10. So you can also join us there in case, look, see that, people? In case anything happens and I go blip on you, just join us on Facebook, or join us even on her Periscope. You can join us on her Periscope too.
At Makita D. Collins.
At Makita D. Collins. Thank you, Daphne. Thank you, Unique. Thank you. We thank you so much for being here. This is part 2.
Yeah.
All right. So part 1, you can always watch on her Facebook.
Right.
You can go to our Facebook to watch part 1. So tonight is just about her. We're so grateful to God Almighty for what He has done. He promised and He fulfilled it. While Makita had her book in pre-order, it became a best-selling in 3 categories.
Yes.
And not only did it become a best-selling, it hit the hot new release. Now, people have to understand how Amazon works. Imagine millions of books that are published on a monthly basis. Imagine millions across the country that are published on a daily basis. And out of that millions, then their algorithm pulls you out and say, hey, you're number 3. And today, after we were done with this morning, she became number 1.
Yay!
She became number 1.
Thank you, guys.
So we are so grateful for all of you that have actually purchased, because it's not about, there's a lot of gimmicks about and tactics about Amazon, right?
Yes.
Like that, there are just some tactics about it. But with her, she became a bestseller. The categories within 10, she's the first 10. Number 5, number 6, and another one. I can't remember the other one. And so now number 1, right? And so it's amazing to see, and also to top it in the paid section, not the non-paid section. So we didn't have to, with her, we didn't have to even bother doing the non-paid section. There was no need for that. There are some people that a lot of times I would say, well, let's do non-paid first. Let's make it free for 24 hours and then come back in.
Uh-oh. She's frozen, guys, like Elsa. So so
this morning it was number something, I can't remember, but today is now number 1. Go ahead, Makita.
You are freezing.
I'm freezing or you're freezing?
No, you were freezing. You were freezing. Hi, Dominique. Yes. So when Princess Fumi told me about, okay, maybe you should try doing this, for free, for, the free category for, about 24 hours. And I'm like, whatever you think is going to work and make sense. And then she said, you don't need to. She said, congratulations, my dear. You are number boom. And I'm like, whoa, this is so amazing. This is so exciting. Look what the Lord has done again. And it just really, really blew my mind how that happened and how all that went about. Now, she's going to come back on in a moment, but just to see how God has his hands on a thing and then it just magnifies and amplifies. It is so, so honoring. Like, I'm just honored. I'm really astonished. And when I did my conference with Unbreakable, God promised that he was going to catapult and propel us. And so that it was not going to be so hard anymore after this particular season. And so you're going to see a lot of men and women of God just boom, come out of nowhere to you all. But in the background, we've been working and been faithful over the few, and God is going to make us ruler over many. And so for me, I can say for myself to be number one and to be a bestseller and all of that. And it just kind of just happened. I'm like, Lord, you're so faithful. And I want to just encourage all of you that want to be authors or open up businesses or start ministries or whatever you want to do. When you hook up with the right people that are anointed to do what they are called to do, and you connect with them, you're bound to just flourish. So you got to make sure that you're connected to the right people that can pour into you, that you can glean from, that you can grow from, and people who are not afraid to share with you how they got where they got, people who are not intimidated by you, who are not trying to be your lid, but literally want to see you go far. And so I think, again, I always want to give honor where honor is due concerning Princess Fumi and anyone that I've ever connected to. She's an amazing teacher, and she really has a love for seeing people succeed. And if you don't want to see, if you're around somebody that doesn't believe in your success, don't stay around. Like, don't stay around them. I think that she's just a true example of wanting to see the people that she mentors, the people that she ministers to, the people that she pours into. She just wants to see you do well. And if you're around someone that always want to get the limelight, always wants you to, shout them out, always feel like you got to tell them every single thing about your everyday life, those are people that are insecure. And you got to be careful of those kind of people that just are overbearing and don't want to really see you do well. They really don't. They say they do, but they really, really don't. They want to be in control over every aspect of your business, your life, your relationships, your whatever. And you make a decision to run from some of those people because they're killing some of y'all. And so Princess Fumi was definitely a breath of fresh air for me and my husband. And we're here. Like, we're here, and I hope not going anywhere. And I look forward to the next several projects that I'm going to be doing in the future. But I want to celebrate today. So again, please go to bit.ly/still old fashioned, bit.ly/still old fashioned. And if you're on Periscope, because I can't see on Facebook, and hello to all of you watching on Facebook, I'll be in there in a second. If you have your book already and you're on Periscope, I can see your comments. Let me know what your thoughts are so far. And don't forget to leave your review on Amazon as well. Leave your honest review, and let me know what you think about the book thus far. So if you do have it, I would appreciate you just throwing up some comments and letting me know what your thoughts are. All right, Princess, I know you was frozen for a while. So
yeah, that's what I'm doing. It's a real luck. It's Makita. Anytime it's Makita, something always.
I'm telling you, every single time me and you do something together, it's like the enemy wants to go. No, cause interference. That's how I know that this is a blessed thing, because interference always tries to come in. It's just something else. I look forward to Longer Than Reading More. Yes, someone said it's amazing. You told your truth in a very graceful way. Thank you very much, Lisa. Yeah. What chapter did you read from for that? She said it's amazing, and she had the first book as well, so she can see the difference. So what chapter was that in? And for those of you that are inquiring about the first book, A Little Old Fashioned Goes a Long Way, it is not going to be for sale again. What y'all went through when y'all moved, my God. Okay, so you're talking about the flashback. That is a new chapter in the book. And I'm going to tell you how that came about too. With the flashback, Princess Fumi, she said, you got to give them something that they're going to go, what? And with the flashback, during the first book, a lot of people did not know that my husband and I, my children, we had relocated from Memphis, Tennessee to Pennsylvania, and we had a furnished home, and we didn't have everything, but there was a lot of things that we had to leave behind because it wasn't enough room in the pods. They estimated the amount of space that we needed, and they estimated wrong. So what we had to end up doing was leaving a lot of our things sitting on the curb because we couldn't fit it. And not only that, leaving some things behind. Midway through the state of Tennessee, our car broke down and died. And nobody knew about that except like maybe 5 people. And when the car broke down and died, my husband and I were like, what are we going to do? We're in the middle of Tennessee. And during that time, it was about 2 years ago. This is when a lot of our African-American brothers and sisters was getting shot and killed by police, and it was a very scary time. It really, really was. And lo and behold, we're in front of this police station, and God used 2 white police officers. And I'm saying they're race for a reason, because there was a black cop that went by us, didn't say hi, didn't say skip, boo, cat, are you guys okay? And this is like almost 100-degree weather with 4 children in the back of a car. And he didn't even ask us, were we okay? My husband was very frustrated, very annoyed. I'm trying to keep him calm. I'm on the phone with my friends, and we're just like, God, what are we going to do? And God had the car stop right in front of the police station. And then the white officer came to us and he said, hey, folks, you guys okay? And my husband had his head down, and I'm like, really? We're not. Our car just died. And he said, well, let's see if we can start it up again. Let's see if we can move the car into the parking lot. Nothing was working. We had to literally push the car into the parking lot. It would not turn over. And when we called the towing company, the police officer said, I don't want you guys to sit out here with the kids. We have air conditioning. We got snacks and a vending machine. And there's even a playroom where the kids can watch TV. And I mean, the love that this man showed us was just, he was an angel, literally sent by God. And then another white police officer said to me, as we were calling the insurance company and the towing company, hey, we'll wait and stay until help comes. Like, we're not going to leave you here by yourself. You know what I mean? And long story short, the towing company came and they told me and my husband, we don't even know how you got this far, because if you would have went maybe 8 more miles, your whole wheel would have popped off. And mind you, my husband just put $1,200, $1,100 into the vehicle to ensure its safety. And he said, this little piece would have came off, your whole wheel would have came off. So God protected us, even though we didn't understand it. And then going on, we get a car, we get a rental, and then that tire busted. I mean, it was as if this journey to get from Tennessee to Pennsylvania the warfare was just so hard. And what was supposed to take a 15-hour drive ended up taking a 2-day event for us to get to our final destination. But long story short, we didn't have a vehicle for weeks. And my husband and I were taking Ubers and taking taxis everywhere. And thank God our children was enrolled in school and they got picked up and dropped off by the bus. But me and my husband was literally walking to a full service gas station to get food and to make sure that we had, dinner for our family. And one time we had to walk in the rain to the grocery store, and you guys will read that in the book in the flashback. And I thought about that. We were looking for a vehicle and we were waiting for them to respond back to us to let us know if we were approved or not for the vehicle. But we had to put groceries in the house. And how else are you going to get groceries? You got to get to the store. And so there's no bus system. And we were getting tapped out with our money, taking these Ubers everywhere. So my husband and I literally walked 4 miles in the rain with book bags to get food for our house. And I remember walking back from the store as, we look like teenagers again. We look like kids, holding these book bags, full of food. And we were laughing and just like, it's raining. Okay, Lord, we got to laugh at this. And I held his hand and I said, honey, this will be the last time we walk in the rain. and I got a call a block away from my house, and they said, Mr. and Mrs. Collins, you were approved. Come get your vehicle. And we stopped right there and put everything down and just rejoiced. And there's so much more in that chapter that you got to get. The flashback is definitely, and this is like at the moment of me opening up my box to the new books. But leading up to that, people had no idea what my husband and I had to go through. They didn't know that our house was empty and all we had were beds, and we had a futon for our kids to sit on to watch TV. But my husband and I would stand up by the bar. We have a bar in our kitchen area, and we would stand, or we would sit on the floor as our kids sat on the futon, and we had like 2 folding chairs, and we literally started from the ground up again when it came to like furnishing our whole house. Now our house is full of brand new, beautiful furniture that, you know, was very expensive, but not expensive to us because God gave us favor. But just to show that you don't know what people are going through in the background while they're believing God for you. You have no idea what they're believing God for them. And as I came on still every day on social media, still doing Kita's Cookies, still doing Kita's Company, still coming on Periscope, I was ministering to you guys. And a lot of you didn't even know that I didn't have a place to sit down. I didn't even have a couch. You know, I didn't have that stuff, but God, he gave it all back. And so that's what the flashback was about. So thank you for that. Anybody else had a question about what they read?
So let me ask you a question. Let's go back to that flashback again. What gave you the courage to share that? Because a lot of people write books, right? And they only want to put what they want to put there.
Yeah.
Right. And some people, they will write books and you will almost look at like, why God, did anything ever bad even ever happen to them before?
Mm-hmm.
You know, what gave you the courage to include that in the book?
Well, I think that it was fair for the readers and my followers to understand that I go through just like they do. And just because I'm an influencer, or just because I have a great marriage and I have wonderful kids, it doesn't mean that I don't go through too. It doesn't make me exempt from going through just because I'm a believer, just because I'm saved, just because I'm a woman of faith. It doesn't mean that I won't go through things just like everybody else. And I think that they needed to know how to go through, but go through with grace, how to go through without complaining, how to go through and not wear your pain on your face. And it wasn't like I was pretending to be okay. I just had to stand and believe God and still do what he wanted me to do, because it wasn't about me. It was about what he was getting through me. And I think you and I talked about this earlier, being processed, because if I would have spoke about it prematurely, first of all, the testimony wouldn't have had a greater impact. And I think secondly, that people would have felt sorry for me. And I didn't want nobody's pity. I didn't want nobody's handout. I didn't want nobody to feel like, oh my God, woe is the Collins. Do you know what I mean? Like, oh my God, they have all those children. What are they going to do? We still moved forward. Like, all is well. You know, we were safe. We were in a beautiful home. It is a beautiful home that we do live in. And we were going to be all right because we had to trust God through this particular process. And I think that it was time to tell the people, this is what was really happening in the background, where you thought that everything was going well with me. This is what was really going on. And I believe that people's respect for me and my husband will go up when they see, oh my God, they really went through all of that and they made it. You know, my husband and I didn't separate. We didn't go through a divorce. You know, there was no illegitimate children. There was no affairs. There were no, we're going to leave God and all that kind of stuff. As a matter of fact, it brought us even closer together. Somebody said, I just got finished reading that. My God, so encouraging. Amen.
Awesome.
You can get your copy by going to bit.ly/still old fashioned, bit.ly/still old fashioned, and leave a review.
That's right. Now, there were some people that already started leaving reviews. So we thank you guys for leaving reviews. If you have not left any reviews, we urge you to please go back, and it's not going to take you that long to do the review. So we appreciate every reviews that we get. Let me see.
Somebody asked a question on here, which I think is very raw and uncut, and I'm going to answer it as honestly and tastefully as possible. I'm gonna let the Holy Ghost be my PR with this. I was asked, why am I not releasing the first book again? Yeah, and I will say this about the first book. Good one. You know, I will say this about the first book. The first book was and still is a blessing. It was and it still is a blessing. It's my very first book. I sold over 1,300 books in a year. My first print sold out in 3 hours, and I had no distribution, no Amazon, no Barnes and Noble, no endorsers, no sponsors, no big name bishops shouting me out. Right? I just had the consistency and the fight to just show up every day and say, hey, I got a new book out. You need to get your book and talk about the book. And I was able to relate to people through that book. However, there is a time and a season for everything. And you got to know when to draw lines and draw boundaries and say when enough is enough. And the book was done, to me, it was done with love, and it was done with power. It was really done with power. But I had so much more to say. And the people that I was working with the first book was not allowed to cross over with me in this next journey. And I think for a lot of you that sometimes you're loyal to people that are never loyal to you. And you will make commitments because you don't want to ruffle feathers, or you want to make these allegiance or these vows or these covenants and these promises that people would never do for you. And so I had to make up my mind. Marquita, do you want to appease people like you always do? Because I would have a tendency to always do what people want me to do. Or are you going to do what God is leading you to do? And that's just let it go. So the first book was a special edition, and whoever has that book, amen. You know, I'm glad you have it, but I'm not going to reprint that copy, and I'm not going to resell that copy. And because I needed to make a clear decision about letting that relationship and those people tied to that book go. And I mean that in every sense of the word, and I don't take it back. So I hope I answered that as tastefully as possible. And I'm not mad at anybody. And I don't wish nobody bad. As a matter of fact, I pray God's blessing upon these people, but I do not want to keep being reminded of the work that I did with these people or person individually, and how their name will still be associated with me. I want old things to pass away. Huh? I do. I want old things to pass away, and I had to move on. So that's what that is.
I think you did well with your answer. You did well with your answer, and people would understand that there's a season and time for everything. I asked you a question earlier because tonight I wanted us to talk about real talk. Real talk kill. Yeah, I wanted us to talk about that too, because a lot of times when we started this journey, I just sensed in my heart, I said, this has to be completely different from the journey that you had the first time.
Yes.
I felt like it has to be something that you needed to own yourself and push yourself beyond boundaries. And so, and that is what you did with this book. You pushed beyond boundaries, because for you to actually say, oh, okay, of all the people, let's make a list of the people that I can reach out to. And you went ahead and reached out to Real Talk King. Now, you could have been afraid and not do it, and then you will have lost out of it.
Yeah.
Or but have published the book yourself and not even think about putting somebody like that on. this is why it's important that you collaborate when you're doing something. If you really want to be successful at something, collaboration is a huge part, because what you
Absolutely.
see, right? You might see something that the other person doesn't see, or the other person sees something that you do not see. And
Right.
I really think that bringing Rita Kim on as your forward, it says a lot about your character.
Yeah.
Because Rita Kim, I don't know her personally, but
Mhm.
I've watched her scope. I've listened to her. I have a sister that attends our conferences. I mean, she's a stalker. My sister is
Yeah.
stalks her. You know, she tells me, oh, she's here, she's there in North Carolina. Oh, she's here in Atlanta. She's always telling me about her. And
Yeah.
the little that I've seen about her, I do not think that she's one of those that would endorse anybody if she
No.
doesn't know
No. No.
if she
She
doesn't
doesn't
know
do
in
that.
the
No.
pit
No.
of her
No. No.
stomach that this is something that she must do. So tell us a little bit about that relationship, because for people who were not here in the morning.
Thank you. And my husband brought me some Starbucks. So hi,
Uh,
thanks, honey. But and again, Periscope, I'm gonna have to log off in just a couple of moments, but I'll log off after I tell this story, and then he's going to log back on. Okay. So the story with Real Talk Kim, I met her through Periscope a few years ago, about 3 years ago, actually. And she told me when I came into her Periscope, Marquita Collins, I know who you are. I've been watching you. You're gonna be great. You're gonna be successful. You're amazing. Like, God has his hand on you. And I was shocked because I'm like, how do you know who I am? Because she had at that time, I think about 40 or 50,000 followers. Now she has well over 100,000 followers. And I'm like, how does she know me? Because if anybody's ever been in Real Talk Kim, so it just
yeah.
so for her to single me out and go Marquita Collins, I'm like, how does she know about me? So and I said earlier, this is why you never know who's watching you. So when I was scoped like I was in front of major TV producers, Oprah, all the famous people, because you never know who's watching you. And I really want to be my true authentic self. I didn't want to be like anybody else, right? So then I met her a few months after her saying hello to me. Before that, I scoped and she came into my scope. She followed me and came into my scope and shared all her followers with me, which blew me away. And I got like 2,000 followers from her sharing her followers, right? So she was the first big name social media influencer that said, she's the bomb. I approve her. Follow her. When those kind of people come into your scopes, they're telling their followers, I trust you with this person. That's right. What that means to them. So they kind of watch you first to make sure you're not crazy. Yeah. And then they endorse you, right? And so I met her a few months later, and when she saw me, she came to me and said, Marquita, I'm so glad to meet you. We sat next to each other. We worshiped together as I was ministering through songs. She was like, go, girl, you go, girl, you go, girl, with her pink hair and combat boots and everything. So Kim has been consistent with me for a few years now. And yes, she does conferences, and yes, she does events, and she's a very busy woman. And when the whole forwarding thing came about, I was very not nervous and not even apprehensive. I just said, I know I can ask her. The worst thing she can say is what? No. Do you know what I mean? And I wouldn't be offended by that. But the thing that I said earlier that I really want to get across is before I asked her, I asked people that I knew, people that I served, people that are African-American, people in the church, people that I admire and loved, and people that called me daughter, and people that called me friend, and people that called me sister. And when it came down to it, they were too busy to help me, to sow into me, to do anything for me. And I went to her and she said, I love you. That was the first thing she said. She said, girl, I love you. And whatever you need, I got you. And that really, really says a lot to me about her heartbeat for me, because she didn't have to say yes. Other people wanted to know how, was I going to pay them for the forward? How long does it need to be? They don't want to read a whole entire book. And it was just a headache. And she just said, whatever you need, don't even worry about it. And within 7 to 10 business days, she got it back to me. And even went a step further and said, if you want to change anything or add anything to this, you can, and I give you permission to do whatever you want. And I said, I'm not changing or adding anything. I'm going to leave it because I need people to know your heart behind this forward. And so we left it as she sent it. And that's just how that went. I gave her a thank you post on Instagram. She instantly shared that, promoted the book, and she has her own books, her own conferences going on, and she celebrated me openly, and I appreciate that because you don't get that kind of support often from big name people.
Well, I tell you what, though, I think it's also the relationship that you forged with her. If she at some point felt like the relationship was not real, you know, because I know the kind of person that I mean, when you are at that level too, you can instantly just remove people from your Facebook if you know they're a time waster.
Yeah.
And so to have somebody like that, and this is why it's so important to also have mentorship, because
right.
as you get mentored, you get pushed beyond your boundary.
Yeah.
You get pushed beyond, because if you were just writing it by yourself, number one, you probably would have even thought about her.
No.
You won't even, you know, you stay in the home. It's easier for you to stay within the confinements of what you know, and just do what you need to do and do that. But mentorship pushes you beyond. It pushes you, it allows you to see even what you didn't even know that is sitting down there.
Right.
And for you, you wrote. I mean, let me say that again. Makita wrote. You hear me, people? She wrote. She did exactly what she needed to do. And today we celebrate her because she did what she needed to do. And this is what people need to understand. If you desire help, if you desire assistance, then you need to understand that with that assistance comes some sacrifices that you must
make. That's right.
Because I remember there are times you say, "Oh, your back is hurting." Oh, but I'm gonna get up and do something.
You was like, "Oh my dear, your back hurts." Okay, now don't forget, I need this chapter. Bam, bam, bam. And I'm like, I would be in my bed, pillows propped up. You know, I'm sleeping upside down, and oh my God, hold on, yeah. My husband is so funny. This is hilarious. I can't believe he's doing this. Oh my God.
Oh, that is beautiful.
Oh my God. Oh. I have the best husband ever. Oh, thank you, honey.
Oh, I love that. Yes, you deserve it.
I can't believe this.
You deserve it. Yes.
That's what took you so long.
Yes.
Oh, I got the best husband in the world. He's gonna make me cry. Y'all got my standby tissue.
Congratulations on number.
He got me a cheesecake that I'm not gonna be able to eat with a number 1 on it. And and my Kita's Company sparkling drink. So juice. Thank you. Let's go it together because I wouldn't be able to do this without him. Let's go it together. 1, 2, 3. Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you. I love you.
I love you more.
Oh.
Right.
He's trying to do something. He's trying to celebrate tonight. You want to bring these balloons upstairs?
I know, right?
That was really sweet.
Oh my, that was sweet. Now, if you have not picked a copy of this, please do go and pick a copy right now. All right, go to Amazon and pick a copy. Not only pick a copy, we want to hear from you. We want your review. Let me look at one person here. One person, Yokita Manuel. She says, Makita D. Collins, best-selling author. It's truly an honor to write a review for this awesome, wonderful, awe-inspiring woman of God.
Wow.
I've only read a few chapters, but what I read is dynamite. I want to take this time to tell God, thank you for this wonderful woman who daily pours into people via social media and now again pouring into us, the people, with this awesome read. I look forward to a workshop coming forth from this awesome read. Makitha D. Collins, you are a gem to the body of Christ. So thank you, Yokita. We appreciate that. Thank you so much for that. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Now let me see. Somebody just said Amazon customer. So we thank you, Amazon customer. She says, my edges are snatched.
Glue them back on. Glue them on.
He said, this book is a blessing to me, so relatable and an easy read. I'm buying a copy for my sister. This is a great book for both single and married people. This book is a breath of fresh air. So, Amazon customer.
Thank you, Amazon customer, whoever you are.
Thank you, Amazon
with your edges, with your snatched edges.
Exactly.
Thank you with your snatched edges.
Viva, or is it Viva or Viva? Viva says the book is amazing. It's truly raw and uncut. It says this book is amazing. It's truly raw and uncut. Wow. This book is universal, not from the universe. Let's be clear about it.
Wow.
But it is universal. Wow. That people from all walks of life can be enriched by reading this book. So whatever you may be going through, there is a chapter for you in this book. This book is surely to bless your socks off. So thank you, Viva, for your
thank you,
review.
Viva. Thank you.
And those were all 5 out of 5 stars. So if you have bought the book, if you have purchased the book, it's not going to take you more than 5 minutes. Please go in, because the more reviews we have there, it's better to be able to do more, the more things that we want to do about that book. So we urge you, because we know many of you have purchased the ebook, so we urge you now to go, even while we're talking right now, dash out, do your review, come back.
Yeah.
And just,
now, can people get several reviews or just one review per customer?
Yeah, they can only do one per customer.
Okay.
So they can only do one per customer. So if you are on the bestseller list, so okay, so we're expecting more reviews. We're expecting more reviews from you guys. So thank you all so much for even wanting to do the review. We appreciate
you.
We just thank you. So why real, raw, uncut?
Why real, raw, and uncut? Because I'm a person that always want to be honest. Not like, girl, I got to keep it real. No, I want to keep it truth. I want to keep it honest. So that's where the real comes from. The raw is, I'm not trying to sound perfect. I'm not trying to be perfect. So you may see some flaws. And even in my grammar and the way I say things, that's the raw part of me, the openness of me, and the uncut, where I'm not really trying to be censored. Like I'm gonna do it with some class, but there are some things that I'm gonna say that may go, I can't believe she said that. Believe it, because I'm a human being just like you. I'm not gonna always march to the beat of some of y'all drums. I'm not gonna always say the right, perfect thing. And so that's where the uncut come from. I'm still old-fashioned. You know, I'm still a lady. I still have class. I'm still going to wear my pearls and all that kind of stuff. But there is an edge to me. And there's a boldness and a confidence that exudes from me. And I want to be relatable to people that need to hear something fresh that's not stale. And where they can relate to a woman of faith who has gone through what they've gone through and not feel like I'm so unreachable. Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't want them to feel like, oh my God, I can't ever be a best-selling author, or I can never relocate, 2 and 3 times with a big family, or I can never get a brand new car off the lot, or I could and it's like, if Marquita can do it, if Marquita and Sean can do it, or if Sean and Marquita can do it, surely, we can do it as well. So, that's why the Real, Raw, and Uncut came, because I didn't want to hold back this time. I didn't want to hold back.
I was saying that when your book was being edited, I remember some parts of it, and I asked this question with the editor, and I said, well, are you going to change the tone? And he said to me, no. He said, because I've been reading all these chapters, and it seemed like this is who she really is, and people need to get that. Mm-hmm. That there's no need to change it. There's no need to make it proper. This is who she is, and that's where the rawness comes. Right. So that some of you will be reading it, and you will see how raw and real parts of these chapters are. Because this is how you build your brand. You want somebody, it's just like Real Talk Kim. If you close your eyes and you hear that Real Talk Kim say something, you will know if she's the one who said it or not.
Right.
Because people already know how she talks. They know how she handles things. So now imagine somebody like that now come up with a book that doesn't sound like her.
Right.
And so this book sounds like you.
Yeah.
It really sounds like you. So it shows the effort that you put in it. It shows the hard work that you put in it to make this happen.
Yeah.
So what advice would you give to people out there that are trying to write books? What idea?
I think you got to start with your vision casting. And the Bible talks about in Habakkuk 2 for us to write the vision and make it plain. So what's your vision for your book? That's what I think you need to start with number one, before you start getting into finding a publisher, finding an editor, finding a graphics designer. What do you really want to talk about? And get it out of your head what you want to talk about, and then start writing from there. And also pray and ask God to connect you to the right people. There was no way in the world that I was going to connect to someone who doesn't have books, someone who was not an author, an author themselves, someone who did not have proof behind what they did. Again, like I went through something that to me, in the flesh, I'm being honest, Marquita, you wouldn't have done that if you would have known A, B, and C. Hindsight is always 20/20. So I had to learn from that process and go, if I were to do this again, I would have to make sure that I'm clear about what I want to talk about. And I got to be clear about who I'm going to connect to. And I think for me, for those of you that want to be authors, don't just write a book and just put it out there. Mm-hmm. You really want mentorship with this. I mean, you really, really do. And you want to connect to people who know the system. You may know some things, but you don't know all things. And don't gravitate to people who talk the gab, but don't have any proof. Mm-hmm. I beg y'all, do not connect to these fast talking used car salesman people that have the gift of gab but never show you proof. And then because you're gullible and because they know that you're naive and even ignorant to a degree, and I'm just being honest, they take advantage of your ignorance and your zeal, and they see you as bait, and they use that against you, and you spend all this money on a hope and a dream, and you don't get a return on your investment. Do not hook up with people that have all these smoke and mirrors, and you really don't have proof about who they are. And I pray that as I'm in ministry and as I travel and I speak and I'm an author and a prophetess and all those great things, that I'm showing you proof. My life is fruitful, that you can literally see it, and that you're not walking blindly by faith. I think for us as Christians, we walk blindly by faith, and we do that name it and claim it stuff, Princess. And that name it and claim it stuff can get you in a lot of trouble when you do not investigate and research, So I would say, get the vision out of your mind, write it down, make sure you are connecting yourself with people who are already at the level that you want to be at. So I was not a professional at the entrepreneurship. There was no way in the world I was going to hook up with somebody that did not have what Dr. Princess Fumi has or greater. There was just absolutely no way. She showed me proof. She showed me her winning her Oscar award. You know, she showed me the books on top of books. She's getting ready to release her 10th book. She showed me how, how she reached her level of success. I seen it. I didn't just go by hearsay. I actually saw it. And so it was on top of me praying and coming in agreement with my husband. It was easy for me to work with someone who I admired from afar. But then when I got close up, what I saw from afar, I was able to see close up. And I hope without me, going too far into that you guys understand what I'm saying. People can tell you whatever they want to tell you. But when it's time to really get down to the dollars and cents, you got to know that they are who they say they are. And Dr. Princess Fumi is who she says she is. You got to connect to people that are going where you want to be. They are already there. And so it was easy for me to take the correction. It was easy for me to take the challenge. It was easy for me to take the rebuke. It was easy for me to take all that she sent my way. She celebrated me and spanked me. She loved on me and she corrected me. And it's easy to submit. Listen to this, guys, because I feel the anointing on this because we don't talk about this enough. It's easy to submit to people who love you and correct you, but they don't leave you bleeding. It's easy. It's not hard. Y'all got to stop saying, I ain't gonna let nobody control my life. And I get that. I get you not wanting, my auntie said she's on here. I love you, Aunt Pam. And, I get you not wanting people to control your life and all that kind of stuff. But sometimes you got to humble yourself. You got to posture yourself to say, God, I don't like what I went through, but I'm going to be a student in this and I'm going to learn from this because there's somewhere where I aspire to be and where I want to be. And so if you could just humble yourself and squat down, if for some of y'all that don't want to lay down and just sit there and let people who are where you want to be pour into you and you take it and you don't go, I don't want to hear it. You receive it for your betterment. I remember sending something to Princess Fumi and she said, you got to go deeper. And I'm like, I already thought I was in the deep end. You want me to go? Deeper? If I go any deeper, I'm going to drown. And she said, no, my dear, you got, and then there was a place where I almost panicked. Yeah. I remember that day. I was like, Princess, I'm outside. I'm walking. I mean, I'm walking around looking crazy in my neighborhood. Ain't nothing but other pale people. Ain't a lot of us. So I'm walking around like, Princess, I think that I made a mistake. I don't know. She said, that's it. This is where you're supposed to be right now. Now I know that you're ready. And I'm like, now you know I'm ready. Ma'am, I've been ready. So I thought that I was ready, but I had to be pushed into labor. She had to induce me and give me spiritual Pitocin. And and she really, really motivated me. So I would say to other authors or those of you that want to start whatever, make sure you're surrounded with people that know what they're doing and that you're not allowing blind people to lead you, or you're not allowing Jacobs to manipulate you and trick you out of your birthright.
That's a good one. That's a good one.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for all that you said. I really appreciate it. This is not scripted, like Akita always say. This is just us talking. This is us girls just talking. Yeah. I want you to talk to them about the labor. The labor. What is the difference between the labor that you went through now versus the first time? Because people need to understand your growth. I want them to understand your growth.
Well, I would compare it to my own life. When I had my son, my oldest son, I didn't know what to expect. I was scared. I was nervous. I was frantic. When I felt the contractions, I didn't know if it was a Braxton Hicks or if it was a real labor contraction. When my water broke, I thought I was peeing on myself, but my water really broke. So, with the first one, I was very, very scared, and I trusted somebody else with my baby.
That's right. That's good.
Yeah. Now, when I had my twins, I knew what to expect. And though I was carrying double, I wasn't afraid. The labor was not as intense as the first labor. And I gave birth to 2 babies and I knew what to do and I wasn't afraid. So with this book, I would merge that together. I trusted you, but I knew that I had to do the work myself.
That's right. So can you repeat that again?
Yeah, I trusted you, but I knew that I still had to do the work myself. So there was no epidural given. There was no pain, there was no sedation. It was live and in living color. You got to get this done, and your hands are all in it. And I'm sharing things that I never thought I would share. And I am opening myself up to memories that I thought were buried, dead, and locked away. So the process of this book was really digging up bones and putting them in the right grave, so it was a difference in the delivery for me as a whole, and how I delivered my stories and how I delivered the questions and how I delivered the chapters and the subjects. There's some sensitive subjects that I'm talking about in this book, but that's where the real, raw, and uncut comes from, because our life is real, raw, and uncut. Nobody lives in a glass house, right? And so the labor for this book was different. It wasn't as painful as the first one. I wasn't kind of out of the loop, like coming into this awareness of, oh, wow, this happened. I'm like, no, I'm here. I'm in this journey, and I've worked for this, and I worked for the last one too, but it's like a different posture that I sit in, and I'm very comfortable in saying, I did this and I didn't need your permission to win.
That's right. That's right. That's right. That's it. That's it. And this was the whole process about this, that I wanted you to come out knowing the process, not just hearing of it, or having other people do it, but you really digging in, so that at the end of the day, what to expect with your next book.
Right.
You have an expectation of, okay, this is what I have to write for the next book. I have to top this one. And these are the steps that I need to take. So now, for those who are out there who say to themselves, well, I don't think I have it in me to write a book. Oh, I'm dyslexic. I'm dyslexic. I can't write it. What would you say to them?
If you can't write, speak. No excuses. If you can't write it, read it into a voice recorder and then transcribe. Okay? Get something that you can record and just literally talk your book out of your head into a voice note, and then play it back and begin to type. And then break that down and type it again, and then break that down and type it again, and then have someone that is where you want to be to look over your stuff and help you restructure it. Because I had dyslexia. I would read things backwards. I would say things wrong. I would even read. I don't know if anybody out here ever did this before, but if you would give me a book, sometimes I would start at either the middle of the book or the end of the book, and I would start backwards. Growing up, I had a learning disability, and a lot of people didn't know that. And my father knew, my mother knew, and they would get, hooked on phonics and the math game and all that stuff. And my father was big, my mother was big on education, but I had a learning comprehension issue, and I also had dyslexia. And it's not something that I say for people to feel sorry for me, because I knew that I wasn't supposed to feel bad for myself. I just had to learn differently, and I had to do things differently. So if you feel like I can't do it, and then you're around people who are telling you you can't do it, first of all, you're around the wrong people. Second of all, if God gave you an idea, if God said he wants you to write a book, you got to find a way to write that book. I don't care if it's a children's book. I don't care if you got to use crayons. I don't care if you got to use an etch a sketch. You got to get whatever God told you to do, get it out of you, and then have somebody that will keep you accountable to help you through the process. I mean, Moses had Aaron. You know, Moses was a stutterer, but he had Aaron to go with him, to cover him, to even speak for him at times in front of Pharaoh. And so, you know, you're not an island unto yourself. You're not an island unto yourself. You don't have to do this thing alone. And don't allow the enemy to shut your mouth. Open up your mouth and open up your, you know, your voice note in your phone, or get you a digital audio recorder and just start talking into it. You'll be surprised the books, not just a book, but the books that are inside of you when you do that.
That's right. That's right. Andrea Ellis says you've overcome a lot of challenges.
Yes.
And Pam, is it Pam Williams?
Yes, that's my aunt.
Oh, that's your aunt. Oh, hi, Auntie. Thank you for joining. And of course, we have Cynthia. Thank you so much for joining. If you have questions, keep putting your questions there so we can see those questions. Now, what is next for Marquita?
Wow, what's next for Marquita? Well, I know that I'll be writing another book soon, so I can't get too comfortable with this one. So, but I'm gonna be traveling. I'm doing these pop-up sessions around the country, and even I'm gonna be going overseas to London and France, and I'm going to Africa, and I'm going to Asia, and I'm going to Italy, and I'm going to these different places because people want me to minister to them. And so, as a matter of fact, I'm a man of God. He prophesied to my husband and I, and he said, I see you and your husband doing these retreats in castles, and I see you going to these amazing elite places. And I'm like, God, wherever you send me, that's where I want to be. I don't want to be where you don't want me to be. And I said this earlier, and I don't apologize for this. If it's not God, I don't want it. And when I say that, I don't care if it's in a church. I don't care if it's big name people. I don't care if it has no purpose and God doesn't want me there. I don't want to be there. And I'm okay with God using me in other ways. I'm okay with God saying, no, I don't want you to go here because I'm preparing you to go over there where people can't be reached, you know, through these certain church circuits. Like, you know, these people, they're for this group of people, but I want you over here. And I had to learn to be okay with that. I really had to learn to be okay with being different.
Amen. Mm-hmm. Now you have a question. Andrea says, what's the biggest thing you want people to take away from your book?
That you are not alone. That's the biggest thing I want them. You're not alone, and you are an overcomer. Listen, I mean, in my story, I'm telling you everything I've been through, from being bullied as a child, being bullied by family members, being raped, having abortions, going through divorce, you know, being promiscuous in the streets, in the clubs, being a functioning alcoholic. I should have been somewhere dead, honestly. Mm. And if God can bring me from that, from the rejection of not just boyfriends, but family members, not just family members, but church people, not just church people, but leaders, not just leaders, but mothers and fathers in the faith who just drop you face down. You understand what I'm saying? And if God can raise me up and use me to minister to you, the takeaway is you're not alone. And if I can overcome, you're an overcomer too. You're not just a survivor, you're an overcomer. I've been divorced too. I got remarried. The doctors told me that I probably wouldn't have children because my ex-husband gave me STDs. I got 4 kids. So God is really using me in a way. That's why I'm so excited about how God is using me, because I'm free from what y'all think about me. Can I just be honest, princesses? Like, I'm so free from what people think about me. It don't even matter. Like, even the negativity and the critics and the naysayers and I can't believe you talk like that. Well, I can't believe you live how you live. Nobody has a spotlight on you, though. You know what I'm saying? So I'm so free from what people think of me and trying to place me in a box and how I should be and how I shouldn't be and all that kind of stuff. Me being who I am is winning literally thousands of souls to the kingdom.
That's right.
Literally, I get testimonies all the time about people giving their life back to Jesus Christ because they hear me and they hear how free I am and they're not in bondage. There's a lot of church people who go to church, but they're not delivered. There's a lot of people who go to church who don't know Jesus. There's a lot of people that go to church who are not set free at all. They just go because they were taught this is what you do. And they have no relationship with the Lord. They don't even know God. If God sat next to them right now, they wouldn't recognize him. They don't even know his voice. And when they get to know me, past me being loud and colorful, they're like, you're a breath. They tell me all the time, I'm a breath of fresh air. You know, so I want you to take away from this book that you're not alone. And I didn't go through all that I went through just for me. I went through it for you too. That's why God told me to put it in a book.
Wow. Now, someone asked a question. She says, Kita, talk about how to push through rejection.
That's a powerful question. That is awesome. I had to learn with the spirit of rejection, first of all, is a silent killer, and it can take you out of here. It can make you depressed and suicidal or homicidal.
That's right.
Okay. I just want to say that because when I went through divorce, I wasn't trying to kill me. I was trying to kill him. I wasn't trying to kill. I'm too cute. But then I thought about it. I'm like, if I kill him, I'm going to have to run away. I'm going to have to go to Mexico because I'm not going to jail because I'm too cute. But anyway, rejection I've learned is not on me. It's on them.
That's right.
And so when people reject me is a clear indication that they don't have the capacity to hold me. Mm-hmm. And an amazing woman of God, she laid her pretty hands on me and told me that I would have the mantle of prayer on my life to help people through rejection, and my compassion will evolve and grow. And that was about 8 years ago. And that was Dr. Cindy Trim. And when she talked to me about that, and when she preached about and spoke about even rejection and how you got to start celebrating when people reject you, because that means somebody else is coming to elevate you. That's right. And when I had a shift, it literally shifted my paradigm about what rejection is. That is not me, it's them. I'm not the problem, they are. And it's not to say that I don't mess up or that I'm always right or that I always handle things right, but it is to say this. And when people reject you and they have no conversation or no dealing with you anymore, and you did things right, it is not for you to own and feel sorry for yourself. Feel sorry for them and then move on with your life and get ready for the new thing that's going to come, you know? So that's how I pushed through rejection. Even in these past 5 or 6 years, I had went through some heavy rejection with men and women that I trusted that were over me, around me, said they support me. And then when it came down to the come down, when I didn't march to the beat of their drum, they became ghosts. And it hurt me. I mean, it hurt. It was almost like going through a divorce again, Princess. It really was. It was like, oh my God, how can you do this to me? I was loyal to you. And God said that was the problem. You were more loyal to them than you were to me.
That's right. Isn't that something?
It is. I was more loyal to people than I was to when God was allowing a way of escape for me to get out of some of these relationships, not for it to be messy, but sometimes you can stay in connections too long.
That's right.
You miss your opportunity because you don't want to ruffle feathers or you don't want nobody to be mad at you. Yes. I'm over that. You know, it's like I'm over that. And if you don't like that about me, too bad, you know. But I had to learn that rejection is not about me. It's about them.
That's right. Michelle Burns is saying, I'm still trying to understand why I'm being rejected. Now, you said something that was very huge there. And this is something that I've always told the people in Sister Tribe. I said, anytime I get rejection, particularly when I get it from people that I don't expect them to be the ones to do it, I always know that there's a promotion around the corner.
Absolutely.
I always know that it's always clue for me that, something is about to happen.
Absolutely.
And even some of them that are still, that are on here right now will actually vouch. Those are leadership in Sister Tribe, like Andrea, they will vouch for it. Anytime something like that happen, by the time I turn around to start feeling, before I even start thinking, before the thing goes into my heart, God just surprises me with something.
Yes.
And that helps me to just move forward. And as far as Michelle trying to say, you're trying to understand it, you will never understand it.
Never.
Because it's not about you. So you will never understand it. And if it's something that, if it concerns one or two other people, remember now, it concerns other people too. So
That's
you
right.
will never understand it. The more you try to understand it, the more you get buried in bitterness, anger, and depressed. You'll be depressed just trying to understand it.
Absolutely.
So the best part is not just to understand it, but just to say, Father, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Where am I supposed? Okay, what am I supposed to be looking at that I'm not looking at?
Mm-hmm.
There are so many times in my life that I go through a season where there are people just around me. I mean, so many people, and then the time will come when it's just like I could barely find one person.
Yep.
Right. And so, but in that case, you have to sit back and say, you know what, God, you're in control. You knew this day was going to happen.
That's right.
So speak, Lord, because
That's right.
your servant, listen.
I'm listening.
I'm listening.
Listen.
Speak, because
when,
I'm listening.
When God called my name, now I'm like, I hear you, because
right.
I'm not going to miss God. One thing I've learned, Princess, is I'm not going to miss God and miss what he has for me to chase after people who would forget about me in a 6 months to
heartbeat. That's right.
I'm not going to do that. And I'm not going to pretend that I know you don't want what's best for me, as long as I am connected to your way of thinking, your vision, building you up. And I don't build me up. As soon as I build me up, I'm out of order. I said that's bondage, and that's control, and that is religious, and that is legalism, and it's tradition, and it's not of God. There are some things that God does set in order in our foundation that we should never forsake or ever leave. But when the Lord broke the spirit of legalism off me, he did that for real. And I refuse to get back and tied up into a system or into a mindset that tells me that obeying God is out of order. You can miss me with that, because this is the thing. When you are assured of who you are, you want to see people go up. That's why I always speak well of you, because you're not intimidated by another woman's success. I've never in my life seen so many people, especially people of God, be intimidated by their brother and their sister that's in the same field as them. If you believe in the same God that I believe in, you should know that the table is big and that the table is great. And it's a mighty big table for all of us. It's a seat for all of us. We say that mess, but we don't believe it, because as soon as somebody do well, you talk about them, you don't support them, you don't have anything positive to say. You're quick to say all the negative things they've ever done, and you don't want to see them win. And that's demonic, and it's very dangerous, and I'm over it. And I even asked people, God, I said, God, whoever I'm not supposed to be around, let them drop off. And when I tell you they dropped off, and I'm not mad about it, thank you, Jesus, I'm not mad about it. I wish you well. I wish you success. Even if you never talk to me again, I wish you well and I wish you success. But when God shows you a thing, believe him, and don't give those people the same access that they had before.
Woo, can you repeat that again?
Yep. Don't give them, the same access that they had before. You got to believe God. Now, sometimes God will restore relationships.
That's right.
And he will allow a rekindling to take place, but not all the time. Not all the time. Don't be a glutton for punishment. If somebody shows you that they're abusive and controlling and manipulative and non-supportive and mean and insecure and jealous and envious, and they have a covenant heart, stay away from them. Love them. I love you. Wish you well. But don't let them in your chambers anymore. They don't get to know secrets. They don't get to see you vulnerable and naked anymore, because they use it against you. They've done it to me time and time again. People who I would be up all night with, they are hardly any of them, nowhere to be found.
Yeah. Well.
Pray you off your deathbed, and now you rather listen to somebody else, and you was
Oh my
getting beat down and getting kicked out your house and all that kind of stuff, and now you don't. I can't talk to you anymore. The Lord told me that I can't,
God.
and I'm like, that is amazing to me that God will tell you that after you got blessed. It's amazing
Exactly.
for God to tell you after. Why didn't He tell you before?
Oh God.
But all right.
Oh my God.
All right, I'm gonna leave that alone. Let's sip on this tea.
So let me see this. Someone said speak on that. So speak on what? They wanted you to speak. I think it's what your Masha said, got me in tears, needed this encouragement. Masha said, speak on that. I think on what you're just saying now.
Speaking on giving people access, we got to be very careful.
That's right.
We got to be very careful, even in the life of the believer. Just because I'm saved, it doesn't mean I know God. When you're saved, you're simply saying, I receive Jesus Christ as Lord over my life. That doesn't mean I live the way He wants me to live yet. And so sometimes we treat people that are Christian. Oh God, I'm gonna say something real. Y'all gonna get mad at me when I say it.
Go ahead. Say it.
We treat people that are Christian like they are like they're oozing liquid gold. That's and right. Someone who is not Christian, like they're just the dirt on the back of your shoe. But I get more support from people who aren't saved than I do people in the church.
That's right.
And that's the God's honest truth. And I will say it until I see a change. I will say it until I see a shift. Now, do I have Christian support? Absolutely. I'm a church girl, born and raised Baptist. You know, church is in me. I'm a church girl till I die. But the truth of the matter is, I get more support from people who haven't stepped foot in a church than I do people who are in the church.
You know, you and I were talking about it this morning, how when I look behind the books that I've written, I was just curious. I was just curious to see the people that were buying my books, and 99% were my white folk.
Yeah.
That I never met before. Mm-hmm. That some of them is just okay. Maybe they were in one group in Facebook, never met them, don't know them, nothing. Mm-hmm. And that is so sad. And then you also have the in Christendom, where you have the only thing they can give you is bless your heart.
God bless you. That's what they give you.
God bless you.
They give you a God bless you. They don't give you $5. They give you a God bless you.
You know, and that's it for them. And the thing is, if we are saying that we are a chosen generation, we are a royal priesthood, a holy nation that is supposed to be in the forefront of everything. And when it's time to really show, we're nowhere to be found.
Right.
We're nowhere to be found.
Right.
And this is sad because it's affecting relationships too.
Yeah.
It's affecting relationship, not between brothers and sisters, friends. And I remember a few years ago when I sensed that I needed to start a sister tribe. And I remember there were some people around me that they said to me, they said, Princess, you are allowing too much access. You are allowing, I will never forget it. They said, you are allowing too much access. Now, I know theirs came from another heart that wasn't that great either.
Right.
All right. I mean, let's just be clear about it. Because with them too, they had been used to it's just me and them.
Right.
And so suddenly, I'm saying, God, here I am, anybody. And they're not feeling that. They're not feeling it at all. So even though there was some truth to what they said, but I also knew that it didn't come from the right heart.
Right.
And so last year, before I went to Saudi, there were so many people around me. It was just so many people that even I myself was like, this is a lot of people coming around, a lot of people. And the Lord took me out of that and moved me and just plucked me out and dropped me in Saudi. And I'm telling you, being in Saudi opened my eyes.
I believe it.
It opened my eyes because not only were people just falling out, they were falling out, falling off, they were just falling all over the place. And I'm like, okay, did you come to serve me or did you come to serve Jesus?
Right.
You know, what is all this about?
Mm-hmm.
If you say that somebody is your mentor and you can't even listen, and if that person is saying, sit on that a little bit and pray over that and see, and let you come back and tell me what, and you can't even, you're not patient enough to even see what God is doing, and what you're doing is the same thing that blessed you. You are now using your own hand to destroy it and moving on.
Right.
You're destroying it and moving on, and it doesn't mean a thing to you because you said God told you so. Now,
right. That's such an excuse. That's such an excuse because God is a God of order.
That's right.
And God can talk to you. God talks to us all the time, but God is a God of order. And God is never going to tell you to do something that's out of his will and out of order. That's the enemy or your flesh. Because sometimes it's not even the devil, it's you.
That's right. That's
you
right.
know, you know, people wear me out with that, you know, God told me, and I feel like, and I'm like, God, you didn't tell them that. And it's not even biblical what they're saying. It's not even, it doesn't even line up with his word. You know, I'm a person that I don't like passive aggressiveness. I'm like, we need to sit down. I'm a Matthew, 15 person. Hey, the Bible said you got to ought with your brother, or, it's not gender restricted. Let's sit down and talk this thing through. And if I know in the back of my mind that you're just going to be a person of anger and discord and you don't want to work things out, then I'll kind of back off and leave you alone. But for the most part, don't tell me that God told you to do something that's not even in order.
That's right.
Don't tell me that, because you don't want to deal with, conflict, or you don't want to resolve something. So you tuck your tail between your legs and you throw a rock and you hide your hand and you don't want to deal with it. So you do this avoidance thing. That's not God. That's not God at all. When somebody is a blessing to you, you need to honor that. Out of all the leaders that have ever offended me, I still tell them thank you in some way.
That's right.
Half of them don't even know that I know what they've done to me or said about me, and they still won't until the Lord releases that.
That's right.
But they always get I appreciate you. Thank you for what you did for me. Thank you for what you showed me. Thank you. Because even if it was all negative, I still learned something. I learned what not to be.
That's right.
I learned what not to be. And I'm not a perfect leader. I'm not a perfect person. I'm not a perfect prophet. I'm not a perfect wife. But what I am is a person that love, and I love hard, and I want to make sure people feel that love ooze out of me, as often as possible. And I don't own anybody. And I believe that you give honor because that's Bible and that's right. I believe that David taught us that he could have killed Saul several times, but he didn't. He didn't put his hands on Saul. And even when the soldier talked against him, he slew the soldier because he said, touch not my anointed and do my prophets no harm. And touching not the anointed doesn't just mean bishops, prophets, evangelists, teachers.
That's right.
For those of you that are watching, you're anointed too. So that meant you. In another translation, it says, touch not my chosen people and do my prophet no harm. And so if you're a leader or not, if you're anointed, people don't need to put their mouth on you. Okay. So let's just be very, very clear about that you're anointed as well. And people better be careful what they say about you.
Now, you said something about not using God as an excuse. Now, your book, as we said, is raw, right? Yeah. It is really raw, which means that some of these things that we're just discussing, the tone is what you're going to get out of that book. The tone of, look at, it's in your face.
Yeah.
Now, some of you are going to read and be mad. Some of you are going to read and be somber. Some of you are going to be reading and be excited. But either way, the book is going to elicit some reaction from you.
Yeah.
It's going to elicit some reaction. And that is what books, good books, great books do. They elicit reaction from you. They want you to make a decision about something. Now, after they've read this book, what kind of decisions? Give us examples of the kind of decisions that readers would have to be faced with.
After reading this book, if they get through it, they're going to have to be honest with themselves. They're going to really, and you're going to have this book and nobody's going to be around, right? And you're going to have to really get to the core of who you are. Are you going to get real with you, or are you going to pretend? And if you are the great pretender to yourself, you're doing yourself a disservice. And so with this book, I'm really literally, you will think that I'm sitting next to you or that I'm on the phone with you. I'm literally making you be honest with yourself. There's no excuse. Now you can shut the book all you want, but when you open it back up and read it, you still got to deal with what's in front of you. And if you skip over those questions, there's another group of questions, and there's another chapter, and there's another message, and there's another truth and another story. And so at the end of the day, what people are going to learn after finishing this book is I'm going to be honest with myself for myself. I'm going to be honest with myself for myself. You know,
I tell you what, I tell you, when the editor was reading, when he first started with the first chapter, and I can tell you right now, he's not one to jump at books like, yay, you know, unless that book is a Western, you know, like Western kind of novel. He's
right.
not one of them that just like
gun smoke and bananas.
Unless it's something like that, okay, he'll jump. But you know, inspirational, he doesn't do that. But after the first and second chapter, he reached out to me and he said, "Wow, this is really a great book."
Wow.
And I was shocked right there because he hasn't even told me my own book.
Ah!
So I'm sitting there saying, "Okay, bro."
Oh,
any minute now, Andy say something, you know.
That is so funny.
But it made me feel so good.
Yeah,
it made me feel so good that wow, okay, that's a man saying that book.
That's a man. And I love, and anybody that follows me know that I love men. I mean, literally, I love that God created male, you know, and I give honor to men. My father, who is still alive, you know, really taught me and my sisters to be strong women, but that we can trust a man to love us, because the way my father loved my mother, and my mother and father have been together for over 45 years and been married for over 40 years and all of that. And so all I saw was this man that go to work, that protect his wife, protect his daughters, will give us anything, do right by us, faithful to his community, faithful to his family, faithful to church, faithful to his craft, faithful to his job. My father was just such a great, and still is such a great example of what a man is. And so when I would interact with men, I'm like, you gonna be like my dad, you know, and some of them weren't, amen. But, you know, but I have a man, a husband who bands around me, who loves me, who is all man. And so I'm not, though I'm loud and I'm bold and I'm strong, I am not a woman who emasculates men or doesn't want the opinion of men. I love it. I love that men are cool with me and I'm cool with them. And usually when men don't like me, it's because they try to control me. So even with the editor, when you gave me the report about what he was saying, I was like, that makes me so happy, because I don't want to just always speak to women. I want men to go, that's pretty cool. I like that she said that. A lot of wives that follow me, they'll let, you know, me project out audio, right? So their husbands can hear me. And I would say, hey, you wrong too. I hope he hear me saying how trifling you are. And they'll try to, no, I don't want him to hear that. No. He not always wrong, daughter. Sometimes he's a junkyard dog and he needs you to submit. And they'll tell their wives, whatever she's doing, you're going. Like, they'll pay for their wives to come to my classes.
Oh my God.
They're like,
now, I want to share the screen so that just for a few minutes, because I want people to see your book.
Wow.
For those who have not seen the book yet, or those who have not purchased it yet, please take your time to go out right now, do your purchase right now, because here's the thing. We all can procrastinate. We just love to procrastinate. I'm going to do it tonight. And then before you know it, tonight comes You get off online, you go to bed, and that's it. So this is, did you see that? Did you see that, Makita? Number one new release. Did you see that? Isn't that awesome? So
It's
number
so
one new release.
amazing.
That's right. It's cool that they actually put it there. And this, I believe, just happened after this morning. After the morning, it's when this just happened. So I really congratulate you. You did a great job. You worked hard. You worked hard. You worked for this. You really worked hard for this. As far as reviews are concerned, we're still expecting more of you to do more reviews for us. So please keep it going. Makita is in the top 10. All right. Overall, she's in the top 10. Let me say that again.
Wow.
Overall, she's in the top 10 in 3 categories. Isn't that awesome? And then she's number 1 in best-selling in the hot new releases. So I just wanted to share that. If you have not purchased yours right now, please go right now, do your purchase, but do not stop at ebook, y'all.
Yeah.
Don't stop at ebook because the print is coming. And we're going to look for you guys to buy the print because you really want the print for your library. And trust me on that one. You want the print for your library. You want to be able to send that to people and share with people. So I just wanted to show people that so that they know what they're getting. So is there a passage? Is there something you want to read that you can read?
Oh my goodness. The way this is set up right now, I can't read anything.
Okay.
But if anybody has read any of the chapters and you want me to expound on it, I can do that. And so God bless you, Prophetess Tamara McNair Hicks. Her book was released today too, Princess.
Oh, congratulations.
The Seer's Advantage. So you guys go on Amazon and get Prophetess Tamara's book as well. Congratulations to her. She's going to be a bestseller as well. So anybody read any of the book yet? Please just throw up something so I can kind of emphasize. And someone did ask a question about how to get friends, right? The Bible teaches us if you want friends to show yourself to be friendly. And if you want authentic relationships, you got to be authentic to yourself first. You don't want to be a magnet to, dysfunctional people. You don't want to be a magnet to people that are not sure of who they are, who are always low, who are always, dealing with, self-esteem issues. You want to make sure that when you are attracting people, you are attracting people that you want to be. And so if you are not sure of who you are, figure that out first and then show yourself to be friendly, and God will send you good friends. He'll send you amazing friends. I know that to be a fact.
Let me read one endorsement from Hassan James, editor-in-chief, Root Magazine.
Yeah.
Continues to raise the bar as it pertains to entrepreneurship, and that bar has been raised even further with the release of our latest book, I'm Still Old-Fashioned. It is an easy read with fundamental principles that today's society is indeed lacking.
Wow.
Then you have, is it
Lyris Cross.
Lyris Cross.
Yeah.
Okay, this book was so good. I literally read it in 2 sittings. It grabs you in the beginning, convicts you, and helps you in the end. Makita's transparency and transformation are inspiring, so you feel like you have a friend in life struggles as you read it. I'll suggest this for single, married, divorced, just everyone, because you will find a piece of yourself within these pages.
Wow.
So that is just a few of what is there. Now, if they go online to Amazon and they click on the picture, they can actually go inside and read just a few pages.
Yes.
And I think on there, they can read the preface. The preface is right there. Yeah, I can see the preface right there right now. And they can actually do that. the preface, it says, one thing people can never say about me, Makita, is that I am not honest with them and real. I may not be perfect, nor claim to be perfect, but I do know that I'm still old-fashioned, raw, and uncut story needed to be told. Why? I'll tell you. Because I am in a different space than before. There were stories and truths I wanted to share in my first edition that I could not. So, to my old followers, hold on to your seats because the things I am revealing, you never heard from me before.
Yeah.
To all the new people reading this, the journey is real, so get ready.
Yeah.
No doubt about it. New chapters and nuggets of wisdom have been added to my life. I feel that I owe it to you, the reader, to be open and transparent.
Yes.
So, with confidence, I am anointed to speak to the single woman, the married woman, and the divorced woman.
Yeah.
It matters not where you are in life or what your circumstances are. My message is not one for the faint at heart or for those that want to make excuses. I couldn't make excuses. So I wonder where I would have been now if I did. So there is not a relationship situation that I have not been a part of. That's right. I can speak to it because I've been through it.
Yeah.
And it took all of that for me to be able to say this. I am not a girlfriend.
No.
I am not a wifey. I am not a boo.
No.
I am not a babe. I am a wife.
Yes.
I am not a pushover.
No.
I am not a doormat. I am not just some random chick. I am a lady, a woman, a wife, a mother, a leader, a mentor, and a friend. So, you see, with this book, I came to embrace the real lady and woman in me. I like what I have become.
Yes.
And the truth is, I wasn't sure if I really had what it took to succeed.
Yeah.
Well, not only did I succeed, but overcame.
Yes.
So maybe where you are right now is that you are single and you want to be married. Or if you're married, you want to be a better wife. Or divorced and just need some encouragement. You need to know that your blessing is not going to always come through familiar avenues. Ooh, I love that line right there. It's not going to come through what is known and comfortable to you. Sometimes it's going to come through ways that are unexpected.
Yes.
God's going to do it that way so that you know it's Him.
It's Him.
And you won't be able to doubt it if you tried. So stop trying to make it come the way you want it. Stop trying to force it or speed it up. This thing has to marinate in you. It has to settle in your heart, in your spirit. It has to take its time to get to you without you mucking up the works. You've got to surrender in this process.
Yes.
And you've got to wait on it, not beg, but wait. Wait. Wait without struggle. Wait without complaining. Wait without anger and frustration. Wait and know you are going to reap because, girlfriend, you are not going to faint. As a matter of fact, guess what? According to Ezra 10:4, those assigned to you will come.
Yes.
You will have to rise up and know that the matter is in your hands and you got this. It may not come from people who know your right now story
Yeah.
of those from your past, I have come to realize that they cannot hold the vision and the intention for your next story. Be
Hmm.
careful who you share this journey with.
Yes.
Be sure they can handle what's on the inside of you.
Yes.
My dear, your job is to be in the receptive position to obtain the gift of blessing. Then, as the blessing grows within you, you must move to the birthing position to see it manifest. Your blessing is coming from a divine place of love and purpose. You will not miss it if you stay the course.
Yes.
You will not sabotage it if you stay the course. You will surely see the glory of the Lord for you in this if you do not get weary. I'm going to leave it like that.
Wow.
Let them go read the rest.
Go read the rest.
Isn't that beautiful, people?
Awesome.
Isn't that beautiful? This
Thank
is what
you.
this is, and this is just the preface, people. This is just, it's not even going into it, right? Amen, amen, amen.
Yeah.
Absolutely. You love the
I
title.
felt like I owed them an explanation. I did that because I felt like, and with your coaching, I owed them an explanation about the first book.
That's right.
And,
That's right.
you know, because there are some similarities, and it was
That's
like,
right.
you know, revising and adding and deleting and taking away and all that kind of stuff. And I was like, you know, for the people that have the first book, that's a great book, and use it as a souvenir and you know, use that. But this is different, and I wanted to express that I'm different, and I've grown. I am grown, and I have grown, and I embrace every challenge that has come to me in order for this to get done. As a matter of fact, that's why when Prophetess Tamara came on, I don't know if she's still on, but I was able to celebrate her because we were writing at the same time.
Wow.
Accountable. You know, I'm like, okay, I got a chapter, and you're going to be successful. And her book showed up today, and I'm doing my launch today. So even in that, surrounding yourself with people, this is so important, that you are surrounding yourself with people that you can relate to and that's like-minded, and being around people who want to see you do well too, and you want to see them do well. I want to see people that are around me win. Everything attached to me, I want to see y'all do well. And when you're around people, oh, she still is on here. Hey sis, when you're around people who are insecure, and when you're around people who they want to see you do well, but then again, they don't, you got to really understand that they really don't know who they are. And so I had to figure out, Marquita, who are you? Are you a chameleon, or are you who God called you to be? Because if you are who God called you to be, you're not going to keep conforming and compromising to make them comfortable. You're going to obey God and do what he tells you to do. Even if it embarrasses you, you're going to do what God told. There's some things that I shared in this book that my own mama didn't know. And my mama know literally everything, unless it's something that I know would give her a heart attack, you know. But there are some things that my own mom didn't know about me. And when she found out, she was like, well, why didn't you tell me? And I'm like, because it probably would have put you in an early grave, you know, that kind of thing. You know, the things that I did, she was like, you did that? And I'm like, I did. But all things have passed away, Mom.
Exactly. It's like, isn't it good now that at least I'm telling you about it now because it's over?
Yeah, I'm done. Like my dad, I text my dad, I said, Daddy, you know, I made bestseller. He was like, you know, how much money you making though? You know, my father, he old school, you know, how much money you making? And then he called me back and he's like, I'm so proud of you. Exactly. And he talking about my nickname. He said, I'm so proud of you. Now I need you to send a text message to all these numbers. And these are people I haven't seen since I was 5. And I'm like, you want me to send them what? But he had me send all these text messages out to his friends and was like, I'm very proud of you. And I'm like, even after all the stuff you read, I'm very proud of you.
That's right.
So to get that stamp of approval from my parents and my loved ones, if other people don't like it, whatever.
And you know what? And the thing is, there's a season for everything, right?
Yeah.
And there are times when God is trying to get you to do something and you continue to just attach yourself to these people, then you get distracted. You don't have the time to really focus in to do what you need to do. We look at the book that you just wrote now. It was crunch time. It was really crunch time. So there was no time to be listening to, Tom and Harry talk about Makita did this or didn't do that. There just wasn't any time for that. And so there are times in our lives too, we have to find ourselves in a place where the focus, once you get the focus, and look, everything in life is in cycles.
Yeah.
Either we like it or not, is in cycles. The same person who says, okay, they see you buy a car today. These are the things that you need to do. If you don't do it, and then next year you want to buy that same car, guess what? The anointing is not there for you to get that car next year.
Right.
So you can't be trying to put an old, new wine into the old gauge. That's what most of us are doing. When we're supposed to get up, right? You already get the prophecy that this is what God wants to do in your life. Good. Get up and start to walk. And if you begin to walk towards it, even when you don't even understand it, right? And you're walking, God will order your steps. Now, it says we're very close, we're very good at saying, oh, my steps are ordered, established by God. But here, if you're not moving, how can your step be ordered? Let's think about that for a second.
No.
Your step cannot be ordered standing.
No. A lot of people are like the man by the pool of Bethesda. They're sitting.
That's right.
Waiting on somebody to carry them to the pool when they can do it themselves. Like, I did not want anyone to feel sorry for me or my husband when we went through what we went through. I said, God, you're going to give me the strength and you're going to give me the ability to get through this and get through this with some class and get through this without complaining, because your glory has to be found in something. I mean, you have to get the glory out of something that we've endured and what we went through. And if somebody else, God uses people, let's just be honest about that. God will use people, right? But there are certain things where he will make you shut up and not tell a soul.
That's right.
Because he's proven that he's God. And you can't be around lazy people. I couldn't afford to be around a complainer. I couldn't afford to listen to people who were negative. I couldn't even attend or listen to negative, Facebook lives or periscopes or videos or posts. Like, I had to do a sweep of a lot of people that I love, but their posts were negative. And I had to guide my ear and eye gate, my ear gate. I had to guard that during this time. I mean, you really helped me get this book out in a short amount of time. I mean, it's just really outstanding. And over 200 pages, let's be honest, it's not a 30-page booklet. It's not. And shout out to all of you doing booklets, but this is a real book, and I couldn't do, 250, 240 something pages in a week. So you really pushed and pulled something inside of me that it had to come out. And of course, with praying and with my husband and us fasting, and, like I said, with friendships that were being built through this process as well with other authors.
That's right.
I really thank God for, the time and the season of people falling away, and then the authentic people coming into our life during this time. Because if I didn't have that, I don't think that we would be celebrating this launch, because it was really a short time frame. Like, it was like, if we didn't do this in a year, we did this in less than 6 months.
That's right.
Yeah.
And it was because you were focused. It was because you were focused too. And that's part of the things that we need to learn too. Once we have our assignment, then we need to focus.
Right.
There's power in focus.
Right.
So talk to your people. What do you want them to know? Because I'm going to jet out. I'm going to move out so that you can do what you do. If you want to do anything, just let me know.
Well,
and
Well, I want to say, first of all, these balloons are not just for me, but they're for all of you. I have went to the store and got me some balloons. If you guys missed, my husband got me some sparkling apple juice.
That's right.
All the holy people, and some
I know,
cheesecake,
right?
and surprise me with a cheesecake. For all of you that are watching, I celebrate you too. God did this for us. We're representing the kingdom, and so we all win. And so congratulations to all of you too for being authentic, not just followers, but supporters and buyers and people that patronize and people that share and invite and love to see other people's success and win. So I love you all so much. I celebrate this day. My husband and I celebrate this day with not just ourselves, but with you as well. I want to openly celebrate Dr. Princess Fumi Hancock for dropping her schedule. She is in the middle of writing her own book, and she brought her team in, and they dropped, and when I say they dropped everything to help me, and I didn't even understand the kind of people she has that she's connected. I didn't understand the people that she was connected to that made major moves to get this done. And I really thank God that you did that, because you could have not done it. I remember when you reached out to me and you said, Marquita, my dear, the Lord told me after I came out of my shower that I needed to help you with boom, boom, boom. But you told the Lord, God, she's already there. And God told you that I wasn't. And then when you reached out to me, I said, no, princess, it's not what you think. I just kept moving. And you said, oh my goodness. No, Marquita, no. And you said, I'm going to pray. And I'm going to get back to you, because I hear the Lord saying something, but I have to wait. And that's what I loved about you, is that you did not feel bad for me, and you just did it because you felt bad for me, but you really was led by the Holy Ghost. And your only requirement was for me not to speak prematurely.
That's right.
That was your only requirement, on top of signing the, contracts and stuff like that. Handle the business. Right. But you said, do not speak of this. Like we speak of nothing, like in Wakanda, you do not speak of this. And so I could not speak of this day.
But isn't it beautiful now, though?
It is.
Isn't it beautiful to show the end result instead of showing the process?
It is.
But it's in the process, when you're showing the process, that all human beings and their wickedness come in the middle of and meddle in the middle of process.
And just that meddling demon, it's a mess. But I wish I can say, it'll go away. But I understand that when you are anointed and when you are chosen by God, that the people are gonna come. They're workers of iniquity. And if you're not ready for success, if you can't handle people talking about you, don't ask God to give you nothing. Because every time you do something great, people are gonna bump their gums and they're gonna talk. And I want you guys to talk. I want you to go get your book and go talk on this review. And I need you to share, and I need you to share this book, share the link. I need you all to just say something, about the book, because we shut things down in numbers. Your level of success is showing people and not just talking about it, but being about it. And so I really thank God for all of you again. If you could please go to bit.ly/still old fashioned ED and purchase your ebook. And tonight, leave a review. Even if you only read a few pages, just leave a review and tell people to get this book. Tell your friends, your cousins, your aunties, your mamas. Let your church libraries know if they have a book club, if they have like a women's get together. And if you want to buy, because the print copies will be out soon, but I need as many of you as possible to get the ebook version as well. But if you want to get 10 books, 20 books, and you want to bring it to your churches, let us know. Let me know that's what you want to do. We want to get this book into as many people's hands as possible. And I just thank God that he allowed me to be able to do this in such an awesome season of my life. And so that's all I wanted to say. Thank you guys so much for loving me. And please put your holy emoji hands together for Dr. Princess Fumi. You know, shout out to my amazing husband. Shout out to her husband. I mean, she's over in Abu Dhabi right now. I mean, just making money moves. I mean, this woman is making some major moves. And I said, if the Lord ever speak to you about me coming.
But you know you're gonna hear me. You're gonna hear Makita.
If the Lord ever.
You're gonna hear me. You're gonna hear me say, Makita.
If he ever say come, I'm gonna be like, when? I got my passport ready.
You're gonna hear me say, Makita, you know what I heard?
I'm gonna say, what'd he say? Because I know he said come.
Well,
and I'm on my way.
You know what? You're gonna go to even many more places. So I'm just looking forward to seeing what God is going to do with, because one thing is you're a hard worker. You're a hard working person. And so when you add that component to what God is doing, I mean, the sky is the limit for you, really.
And when you say that, Princess, and then we're going to go because we're not going to be all emotional crying on here. But when you say that, you just really, again, you ignite something in me, because I was told that I was lazy and that I would never be successful without certain people in my life.
Wow.
And so for you to say, no, you did this, you're a hard worker, it broke off these word curses that were spoken over my life.
Wow.
Because they, you know, people were bold enough to tell me to my face that, you know, that you're never going to have anything without, if I did not have their support or their endorsement, that I was not going to reach a level of success. And God proved that to be a lie.
Wow.
And so, thank you again.
Now let's go to work. So I'm going to let you enjoy tonight. Just tonight. Because tomorrow, we're going back to work.
Going back to work. Well, I'm not going to stay on here. I'm going to go enjoy my kids, and we're going to eat my husband, and we're going to eat some of this cheesecake that I'm not going to be able to finish.
Enjoy it. And I just want to congratulate not just you, but also Sean, because your husband went through the birthing process too.
Yes, he did. He held my hand.
And he's still going to be going through a little bit more, just a bit longer.
Look.
But I know, for us to release the print. So, but at least we've encouraged him with the best-selling, right?
Yes, absolutely. We're encouraged in the Lord, like David.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So now remind him that the front cover should now have best-selling author.
Yes, I will let. He's on Periscope giving this face.
Like what? Your minute's not over yet.
You got to put on the cover, Sean, bestseller.
That's right.
That's my in-house graphic design. And I don't pay him. I pay him in other ways, with hugs and kisses.
Exactly.
He said I owe him $75 for the flyer he did for me.
Oh my goodness, just $75.
Absolutely not.
He's cheap.
That's my discount.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He's cheap. He's still cheap.
That's my discount, and I won't pay it because I had all his kids except one. So I'm never paying anything.
Oh my God, that's so funny. Well, thank you so much.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you so much for joining. God bless you. Please, if you have not purchased your copy, go there now. Don't wait till tomorrow. Don't be. Oh, somebody says great cover, by the way. Thank you. Yeah,
thank you. My husband did it. My husband did the cover. Yeah.
So if you're looking for a great designer to help you out, well, check Makita's husband's out. You know, he's really great at what he does. He's really great at what he does. So thank you all so much. Please go and let's push this. Let's keep pushing this book, and let's just keep doing what we need to do where this book is concerned. It's going to be a blessing to you. It's going to be a blessing to your sister, your brother, your mama, your whoever. It's going to be a blessing. So when you're there purchasing, don't think about yourself alone. Think about one person out there that you might bless with this. So thank you all so much. Grace Scope, thank you. I am glad you enjoyed it.
Thank you,
Makita, It's up to you. What do you
Nope, that's it. That's all I have to say. Grace and peace to you
go
all.
enjoy with your husband.
Favor be upon all of you and all you aspiring authors. And again, if you want to operate in entrepreneurship, connect to the right people. And Dr. Princess Fumi, you should definitely follow her. Dr. Princess Fumi, Fumi. You will find her on Facebook and on Periscope. She's dynamic. So I love you. Thank you so much. Again, shout out to Prophetess Tamara McNair Hicks. Today is her day too, and we celebrate her. Come on. We love her as well. She's a dynamic woman of faith, and it's an honor to call her friend. So she got her books today, and I shared this day with her too, that she will too be a best-selling author. So I love you guys. Talk to you later. Bye.
Bye, everybody. Bye-bye. Let me see. Okay,
Bye, you guys. I'm going to talk to you guys later here on Periscope. I love you so much.